Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Big Chief channel. Joining you today is myself, your host, as well as a familiar face, which will be joining us in a bit. But joining our familiar face is another person who is a beauty. So I may say, some of you guys have requested her to come back. She is none other than Caroline, as well as, oh, let's not forget Big Chief as well.
Oh,
Welcome in, guys.
Hey, how
how
everybody?
How?
everyone?
Today is a triple whammy where you get three of us here. It's been a while where we've had three people on the show at the same time, right, Big Chief?
I we haven't got three persons on show yet, right? Have
Maybe,
we?
yeah. I think so.
I'm
Maybe
not
in
too sure.
the very early stages of the Big Chief channel. But as of
Well,
late,
yeah,
I
good.
can't recall. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
Big Chief, I believe we have an interesting topic tonight. Would you mind introducing what we'll be talking about?
Okay, this tonight is an extension of last week's Caroline's episode, right? She did so well that I've got a lot of WhatsApp messages asking me to bring her in, but they would like to know the terms because last week, right, we because maybe because of time and stuff like that, they didn't really catch the accounting terms Caroline was mentioning about. You know
Uh-huh.
Caroline? Yeah.
Ya,
So
cakap banyak lah.
yes, biasa lah. So maybe today, yeah, maybe today both of us will question you about the accounting terms or
Right.
Okay, I'll try my
jargons,
best.
on behalf of the viewers. We've
Yeah.
got
Sure.
quite a lot of viewers today. Patricia is in, Anthony Walk, Snow Yap is in. Yep.
Ooh la la.
Go Jun Liang
And
is here as well. Hello,
oh
how?
It's a
yeah,
party
yeah,
tonight.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
party tonight.
Yeah.
Not only we've
Yeah,
got
man.
three people on board with on the show, but we've also got a number of you guys in the chat as well. Welcome in, everyone. It is a pleasure to have you guys here.
Yeah.
So, how shall we kick
So
things off?
we get into post Christians, yeah. So
Sure.
there's a lot of how and yep, how back to your. Okay, so Carol, what do you have for us?
Okay, so we accountants use a lot of words that we understand immediately when we talk about people who are used to this kind of words. So we sometimes hear, when you have a business, you sometimes hear people talking about ledger, debit, credit, sales, turnover,
Uh-huh.
that kind of thing.
Really, really, really slow.
The
What?
only one I know is banking because I know when people say I'll bank in, that means I get money in my bank account.
Yeah, yeah. And we're also very familiar with the ka-ching, ka-ching that we get in our
Oh.
app, right? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's get
Yeah,
started. Carol,
sure.
uh, what do you want to start first? What's the most basic thing in accounting?
Okay, so since our co-host Aaron likes money in,
Uh-huh.
I guess in every business we want to have sales. So I just want to
That's right.
ask you both and also our audience, do you guys know what's the difference between sales and turnover? Can we have
What's the
some
difference?
Okay, I'll
Same
tell you
thing
what.
what?
Why? No, 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 no.
messages,
Relax, relax, relax. Okay, we ask the audience whether they know, or they don't know. If you know, you type 7. If you don't know, you type 8. Okay. So for me, the
Yeah. Do you
difference
know the
between sales
difference?
and
So if you know the
turnover,
difference, right? Yeah,
what
true.
I don't know, so I type 8 lah. Terang tell you.
Aaron, you know or not? Oh, okay. Who is this? Anon.
Hmm. We've got an unknown
Anon
that
also don't
says
know.
no.
Ah,
Don't know.
don't know. Ah,
Patricia also say don't know. Alamak,
how
Patricia.
now?
Same thing
How
what?
now?
Sales turnover, same also ma.
Okay, everybody doesn't know. So you better tell us what's the difference between sales
Okay,
and
okay.
turnover.
Chill, chill, chill,
Okay.
chill. Okay, okay. So you want street talk or you want
Hello,
math
hello,
talk,
hello.
right? So there's so many ways,
Treat us
right?
all, treat us all like kindergarten students. Okay.
All right, man. So sales and turnover, right? So one is big and one is a bigger word than the other. Turnover is a bigger word than sales. That's number one. Number two is sales is inside turnover. Okay, so if you talk about sales, you have to remember that it is related to things, products. So if you have a business selling stuff like tissue paper or mask or shampoo, body wash,
Right.
detergents and all that, so that's sales. Okay, but sometimes
Okay.
you have people selling shampoo and cutting hair as well, right? So cutting hair is not a product, it's actually a service. So when we do the business books, we actually have money that comes in from cutting the hair, and we have
Mm-hmm.
money that comes from selling all the change products, right? Like your beauty products and all that. So that the sales from the service and the sales from the product, when you put them together, they're actually turnover. So
Oh,
that's the difference.
Oh,
I see.
Boleh ka, my dear
okay.
students? Can or
Right.
No,
not?
no, no. I mean, let's have interaction with the viewers lah. If you understand what Caroline is talking about, and if you got what sales and turnovers differences is, can you please type Y? Actually, I got it lah. Okay, very clear. To me, very clear. How about the audience? Okay, the viewers. Okay, carry on. Let's view them.
Yeah, thank you guys
If
for your
if if
feedback.
oh sorry, if you didn't get it, you just type N. No.
Mm.
Okay. All right. What else? What else, Caroline? Now it's getting very interesting. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
part of my accounting knowledge is clear already. So
oh,
sales turnover.
fantastic,
Okay.
man. Okay, so we have to remember, right, that we have when we want to start a business, when we have a business, we're very interested in the sales and turnover. So you guys know a little bit about the differences, the basic differences, and then we also have to remember to make money, you gotta spend money, and
Right.
so we're gonna talk about two different kinds of spending money. So let's talk about a business that sells products, right? So before you get to sell anything to a customer, you got to spend on certain kinds of expenses to get your product to the customer. And that
Mm-hmm.
would be, first of all, obviously buying your product from a supplier, right? I mean, a lot of the time unless you make it yourself. So that's a purchase. So if you buy stuff before you sell it, you know, it's a purchase. And you got to make it pretty. So you probably got to do some packaging. These days the bubble wraps are really popular with the online sales, yeah? So
Uh-huh.
that's packaging. And you
Stickers,
probably got
stickers.
to brand it, yeah,
Stickers for
you got to
branding.
brand
Yeah.
it. That's right. So you've got branding expenses a little bit, and then you've also got transport. You've got to send the stuff to the customer. We're talking about physical products, yeah, we're not talking about virtual products. So these stuff are very, very special because they move your stuff from the original supplier to the hands of your customers. Okay, so
Right.
the amount of money you spend to create a sale goes into a very special family in the accounting world, and you call it cost of sales. Yeah,
Right. The
cost of
cost of sale.
sales. So that's where, yes, cost of sales, and you could have a lot of other things there as well. Sometimes you got to pay taxes to clear and things like that. So all that is in the special
Uh-huh.
category called cost of sales. So everybody clear so far?
I see. Right.
Question?
Actually,
I'm
I
good.
wanted to pose a question to you, Caroline. I know that we have a lot of things to cover today, but Caroline, are you there? Big Chief, you're good, right?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I think there's
She's
a bit of a connection issue
okay.
there.
Let's wait for Caroline to come back and
Hi, I'm
Are
back.
you
I'm
there,
Caroline,
back.
Caroline?
you're yeah.
Caroline,
Good. We thought we
yeah.
lost you already.
Well, actually,
Yeah,
I
I
wanted to
kind of
ask you
lost
a
you
quick
guys.
question
Sure.
before we go on any further. The thing is, I know that we have a lot of things to cover, but I just wanted to ask you, right? What is the importance of knowing the different terms? Like just now, you just clarified the between sales and turnover, right? Do you have any horror stories of people not understanding these terms and it affected their business? Do you have a story like that?
Yeah. You know, like for example, if you have a face, or if you have a human face, and your nose isn't where it should be, how are you going to breathe, right?
Hey, don't
So
hello, don't scare our viewers. Like, it's still early in the show. Come on, let's have fun. We are having fun, and you right.
Right,
sorry, Big Chief. I mean,
Just
uh
kidding, just kidding.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying that sometimes if you really want to paint the right picture about your business, you got to put your stuff in the right place, just like a jigsaw puzzle. You want to make your picture
ah,
beautiful.
right,
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
mean, accounting is actually, it's just like playing a jigsaw puzzle. So you got to know where the corner pieces go, and you got to know where
Right.
the middle
But
pieces go.
have you ever had to deal with a client that when you ask them, oh, so what's your business turnover last year, and then they're like, oh, they just keep on telling you round and round about their sales and stuff like that. Have you ever had something
Well,
like that?
yeah, I mean, sometimes we have entrepreneurs that a little bit confused, and but they have a fantastic thing that I love about every single entrepreneur, and that is an
They give
instinct.
you money, lah,
They
someone
know.
else.
They got the
Yeah.
feels, they got the feels, just like Big Chief, right? Yeah, the red Indian, right? I mean, we have this
Right.
vibe, this feels that, so if something is not right, they'll just know, even if
Yeah.
their numbers are not saying anything, they kind of feel it. So we try to
Fair
match
enough.
the feels with the numbers, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
Okay.
think now that we know, why it's important to know all of this, we can dive even deeper. So,
Sure.
Caroline, take it away. What's next in line for us?
Okay, so the most special thing about these two words, the sales and the cost of sales, they're like a gang. So if you compare your cost of sales with your sales, you actually come up with the difference, right? If your sales is bigger than your cost of sales, and you minus the two numbers together, you actually get a lovely number called a gross profit, right? A
Ooh,
gross profit is where the
the
sales or your turnover is bigger or greater than your cost of sales. But if you have the other way around, if you have the cost of sales larger than your sales or your turnover, you actually come up with a gross loss.
Mm-hmm.
So
adios.
yeah, a gross is basically a first level kind of a filter, where you want to see where your business is heading. Are you spending too much on getting your product to the customer? The gross profit or the gross loss is going to tell you a lot of things about the basic part of your business.
Is it fair to say that this just you can call it a rough loss? I mean, the word gross. Can you
Yeah, the
is it
gross feels like a
equivalent to
rough.
something? Right.
She already said that this one is a gang thing. So you're
Gang.
talking gangster
They're
language.
doing the gang. This is the gang. That means this is the group A profit. Like this is the
Okay.
first level profit. Like if you didn't do
Right.
anything else, and you just focused on that's it. That's all you want to do. That's your gross loss. That means
How
that's
many
basically.
levels of profit there is?
Ada lah satu lagi. There's one more
Oh,
level
Oh.
so
of
there's two levels
profit.
lah.
For basic one lah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So when you have your gross profit, that is actually telling you the big picture about the very basic structure of your business. Then you come up with all your other expenses. Come on, you got to pay your people who are helping you in the office, the person who picks up the phone, the person who looks for your customers. That's an expense. You got to pay to make your office work, like you got to pay your rentals, you got to pay your water, you got to pay your electricity, right? You've
Uh-huh.
got all sorts of other expenses, but they're not really touching your product. Then they're actually helping you run the business more smoothly. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff is what you call the expenses that comes after the gross profit. So
Right.
that is the second gang, right?
Right.
So this second gang needs to
Oh,
be deducted from your gross profit. What do you think you will get
Ah.
after you deduct the expenses from the gross profit?
We got the Junliang says net.
Yeah, net what? Net of fish?
I
hey,
assume it's
Julian,
net
Julian.
profit or loss.
I
Yeah,
thought he was
it's
talking about the
either
badminton net or
nah,
tennis net.
itulah net. We cannot
Net.
be too abbreviated, right? These days. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we gotta be clear. Yeah, clean and clear,
I
right?
think
Thank you, Julian.
I
Yeah,
think
you got the right concept, man.
the net is spelled correctly, NET or NETT
Yes.
or
NET, yes, NET. But there's
okay.
another word that comes after that. It's a profit or loss, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, good, good. Well done lah, Julian. Terror lah you, Julian.
Very nice. So what's next?
Yeah, brilliant.
So after we make a
Okay,
profit or loss,
Mm.
what is what? Okay, now we have this this information. What's next? What can we do with that?
Okay. So
We
who's running the business, Aaron?
the business
Wow,
owner.
we see
Yeah,
um
Brian
uh
Kwong.
this is Brian Kwong is amazing.
What is that? I
That's
have no idea.
great.
What is that?
Brian, okay, Brian, could you expand the words for our hosts here? Let's have some fun. Let's reverse the fun a little bit, Brian. Come on, Brian. Yeah, he's talking
EBITDA,
about tax.
EBITDA.
Tax is just a small, yeah, EBITDA. Okay, so what's the tax is the T. Yeah.
all right. So
Okay,
so
So the
to put it in
basically what Brian, very simple terms.
right.
okay, so basically to put it in perspective, what you're trying to say is the gang A is the trading part of it, and gang B is
Yes,
what you call as
the
overheads or something
operations.
like that, right?
Yes, overheads like your administrative costs and your um, human resources costs and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah. So, Aaron, can I ask you a
Whoa,
question? So,
we
if
have
you
this
have
Oh,
yeah,
elaboration.
there you go.
Earnings before
Earnings
income tax
before
depreciation and yeah, and a big word. I have no
amortization.
idea how
amortization.
to say it.
Woohoo, Brian!
Oh,
Amazing.
yo, Brian,
Excelente!
If
Bravo!
you
you must
guys
give
don't
him a
know,
present, lah.
yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys didn't know,
lah.
Brian was actually on yesterday, and we had an interview with him. And he is actually a CTO of a very big company in Malaysia. So if you guys would like to know a little bit more about him, you guys can check out the last live stream. Just wanted to share that out to our
Yeah,
audience today, since we
that's
have so many
Hey,
people on board.
amazing.
Mm,
but next week Brian will be on again, right?
maybe we shall see.
Hey, Brian, you come on next week. People want you to be on now. Now that people know that you are some big
You
shot,
have
what company is it?
some
Yeah,
words up your sleeve.
yeah,
Whoa,
man.
cool, 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 super cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's continue. Let's continue. So basically, you get the gang one, okay, and then from the gang one you subtract to get the gang two figure, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, so the gang
You're so
one's
clever,
figure
huh,
is
Big Chief?
hey, of course.
Don't tell people.
Okay.
Don't tell people. Okay, learning fast, right? So,
Very
so,
good.
so we have got the gross profit, and then you minus the additional expenses and stuff like that, and then you get the net profit, is it? Or loss?
Yeah. It depends. If the
Ah,
expenses exceed the gross profit, you have lost lah.
Mm-hmm.
correct. But why do people want to have loss? Definitely do business. We want to have profits, right? What are the
Well, you know,
occurrences of getting a loss?
well, that's a very interesting question. So, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes it takes time for a business to take off. So, the first year, you will see a lot of interesting items like a setup cost, you know, where you have to start your company and establish your company, and there are certain costs related to that, and that
Mm-hmm.
will reduce your gross profits even if your product is very profitable. Sometimes the activities during the first couple of years in your business is going to pull down your gross profit and turn it into a net loss. But that is
Ah.
where the resilience of the entrepreneurs get discussed, right? So we're just translating the
Mhm.
numbers into the qualities here, but we don't want to sidetrack. But you know, that's where the occurrences lie. You know, these things happen, right? And there is a reason for them. There is a process for your
So does
business
it mean
to
that
get to that.
does it mean that when you have a gross loss, you got to close your company or declare bankrupt?
No way. I mean, a gross loss probably just
No,
means
I'm just
that
asking
you got,
lah.
well, you got to look at the components, right? So that's where the number doctor comes in and says, hey, how did you get to your gross loss in
Ah,
the first place? Yeah. And then we
And
realize
ah.
that he's
you
buying the
consider
bubble wrap
yourself?
from the wrong guy, man.
I
Right.
see, I see, I
And
see.
and you consider yourself as a number doctor, Caroline?
I love that term. I love that term. I hope more accountants will think of themselves as number doctors. Yeah.
Great.
Interesting.
So okay. How do you avoid closing the company or getting bankrupt if you have net losses?
Well, I think the first thing to do is we gotta watch the daily stream of Big Chief channel, right? Because there's tons of tips that will help you run a business well and teach you a lot of stuff along the way, right? The role is to grow and to evolve, and then
Mm-hmm.
you will find the light somewhere, right? We are like learning to be Jedi's with Big Chief. So I mean,
Right.
that's one tip that we could do. But you know, yeah, it's serious that times are really moving fast. So you got to be very mindful, and entrepreneurs need to do that, and they need a strong support.
Right. Caroline, actually, yesterday we were
What
talking
do
a
you
little
think,
bit about.
Steve
Hello?
and Aaron?
Yo. Sorry, I was about to ask you a
Yeah, I
question.
can
Sorry
hear
if I
you.
just cut you off. Uh, Yesterday, when Brian was on, we were actually talking about VCs and getting financed. And I was meaning to ask you, as an entrepreneur, if let's say your company is taking off and you have some movement in your accounts, and eventually you find yourself at the point that, okay, maybe I want to look for funding for my company. What are the numbers that VCs or investors look at when they fund a company? You know, what are the numbers that I need to highlight or present to these
Yeah,
people?
that's why I
Wow,
think
this
you got
is
to go back.
very
First,
sophisticated.
first of all, I think we need the audience to know what VC is.
Okay, so Caroline, would you do the honors?
Venture capital.
What's venture capital?
Oop,
You,
hello.
oops, got cut again.
I think
Yeah.
Unify needs some VCs lah.
Well, while waiting for her to come back, why don't Carol? Are you there yet? I think she's having some problems with
Right.
her
But
line
in the
and all that,
meanwhile,
right?
maybe Big Chief, you can
Hi,
elaborate
hi.
on that. Internet
Can
lemah.
everybody hear me now?
Correct.
Yeah, you're there. You're there. You're here. You're here.
Yeah, hi,
Who's
hi, guys.
Sorry
Timothy?
to
Or
the viewers.
Timothy is who?
Thank you,
Your
Timothy.
your
Yeah.
husband, your son.
No, Timothy is my son. Yeah.
Ah,
Ah.
hi, welcome, Timothy.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
We are trying to give your mom a tough time. Okay, so venture capitalists, alamak.
Okay, for the sake of time, because
I'm
we
here.
are
I'm here.
nearing the
Yeah.
end, Big Chief, would you mind to share what VCs do?
In the interest of time.
Okay, I think she's back already, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's paused. I mean, she's hang. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
basically, yeah, we want to know what VC is lah, and what's their duty, the role of VCs.
So basically, venture capitalists are the kind of guys who want to fund the kind of business that will bring the best returns, right? And if you want to approach a venture capitalist, a lot of the time they need to look at how sustainable your business is, and whether they will be getting the faster they get the returns on their investment. Obviously, that's the norm. There's a very special product, and if they really believe in it, uh, you know they may be interested to invest in it. There are some of them who are really passionate about certain industries, who are industry specific. They have a niche product that they want to invest in. They're not just looking for businesses to
Whoops.
invest in. So hi guys, can you
Hi,
hear
hi.
me?
Welcome
I
back.
think you're cut.
Yeah.
I think.
Hi.
Okay, Carol, why
Yeah.
don't you do this? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? As far as I understand it, venture capitalists are investors, lah, are kind of investors, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so how
Yep.
many kinds of investors are there that you can think of?
Oh, we've got all sorts of investors. We've got the large investors, we've got the
Uh
small
oh.
investors, and the medium investors.
I think
We've got
the
all sorts in
Yeah.
the
connection is
market.
not the best tonight. And since we are nearing the end of the show, perhaps we can book Caroline for the next Wednesday to elaborate on investors and
Okay, okay,
in
okay.
the context of accounts. Huh? What do you think, Big Chief?
Okay, but before we go, I think we owe the listeners some explanation on what happened throughout the show, and we have got an understanding now of what sales turnover is, what is gross profit, and then we have got expenses called overhead, and we derive to the net profit or loss.
Right.
Am I right,
Yeah.
Uh,
Caroline?
Caroline has actually prepared
I
Wow.
guess
somewhat
this
like
is
a
the basics.
yeah, she has prepared a list of words and stuff like that that is in accounting terms basically for us to reference. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, now's the time. Um, other than that, uh, Big Chief, shall we wrap up?
Yep, I think we have got a lot of information today with a short period of time. And do you want to guys, do you want to have Caroline back again? If you want her to be back again, type it. All right. So Caroline, all depends on whether you are wanted or not for next week. Come on.
Awesome.
If you want Caroline to be back again. All right. Okay, we got Jennifer who wants Caroline to be back. Patricia wants Caroline to be back. And maybe what you all can do is you can put down the topics that you like to hear from Caroline. For example, today we are into accounting terms, right? So maybe you are there any business terms that or anything pertaining to business operations that you like to steal from Caroline's brains? Okay, you can put it down there. Yeah.
Amazing. But anyways, thanks everyone for being here. There's a lot of you guys here today. We really appreciate your support on the channel. And do remember that we're here every weekdays at 8:30 GMT plus 8. Every day, every weekday. Yeah. So this is obligatory to say once again, please do remember to like, share, and subscribe wherever you are in the big wide world. We hope that you have a lovely day, evening, or night ahead. How? Bye bye, everyone.
How? See you tomorrow and every weekday. Thank you. Bye.